like this. Who is this? Oh my god, I gotta look them up later. Holy cow. That's a fun riff. Oh, interesting. All right, who did that? Who did that?
The Warning, their brand new song, Sick. Keep it tuned here while we continue to ruin Jake of all trades' YouTube career on 104.5 The Drive.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake. This channel is called Jake of All Trades, and I'm finally getting around to an actual The Warning song. You know, that's not a collaboration with Bandmade. And I've mentioned that in the last video that I did with Show Them, that I heard Sick by The Warning before. And so I'm like, you know what, before I started getting into the new stuff, let me just take care of the one that I've heard. I don't really remember it that well because, again, it was one time on the radio and I'm like, oh man, this sounds really good. Who is it? The Warning. Oh, I've had suggestions for them and now I've kind of ruined the reaction experience. But there are a few of you who said that, hey, just because you've heard it on the radio doesn't mean you can't do the video. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll do it. So before I get into it here, I just want to give a shout out to those of you who recommended this song. And please excuse me if I mess any of these up. There is ABJ Busty 8586, Dave Rod 76, Mech Time, Old Man Yenny 1663, Oregon LT3, SoCal D Edwards, and Space Knave. So thank you guys for suggesting this video. I'm excited to check it out. I'm going to be doing the music video as well as a live version, maybe another live version after that, because I see that there's multiple. So I'm going to figure it out. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, here we go. The Warning, Sick, official music video. Here we go. It's cool opening sequence there. Cool style. Ooh, like that chord progression. I remember that in the radio version now. This is a really neat visual experience. That full-on whiteout is certainly something. It gives me a real creepy vibe with that, with their face there. Ooh. It's almost like an acid trip without the colors, mostly.
Violence, kill the silence.
Ooh.
Give me
there. Ooh. Okay. Wasn't expecting that one. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so according to Oregon LT3, there's the MTV Push version as well as a pre-release. So I'm going to do those two. And starting with the MTV Push one, here we go. You even got the band limiting on her vocals here. They opened that up there. Well, she's got a little more grit on this version. Ooh. Oh, I love that subtle vibrato there. Oh, okay. The bassist does the back or the harmonies there. Oh, okay. I was like wondering if that was like a backtrack or okay. She's singing. Okay.
Give me violence, kill the silence.
Ooh. I love that slow rise there. That's so cool. I like that. Just her posture and attitude throughout the song is awesome. Oh, what a great first live look. Okay, last but probably not least, we're gonna do the pre-release version that Oregon LT3 had suggested. So this will be a three-way compare and contrast, which is gonna be a lot of fun. 3 members of the band, 3 versions of the song. Hey, good fitting for my first actual The Warning song. So here we go. I love the lighting, like the color choices and everything. It's certainly unique. like her guitar too. Got the Are You Ready in the back? It's like they got cues there. They got great stage presence too. They must have like pre-prepared the crowd there, given this is a pre-release. Hence the cues, I guess. Oh, she got even grittier there. Okay, I noticed that octave drop on the bass before. Oh, what it would have been like to be at that show. Oh, man. Okay, so I had to review each of those versions another time just so I could get a good feel for what was going on in each of the different videos that I just checked out. So I'm just going to cover the obvious difference right from the get-go. Obviously, the music videos can be a lot more highly produced, and there's a lot more gang vocals on the Sick when they shout Sick. And then with the MTV version, it's very well mixed. They're all facing each other. And another thing I noticed in general was that Daniela has a lot more grit on her voice in that version. And then in the live version, there's more of a fan cam type audio, not as highly produced, but, you know, it still had some cuts between the two different cameras. And, you know, that's okay. It gives it a sense of what it was like to be in the crowd when they were debuting that song. I'm assuming that's the debut, given that it was a pre-release according to the comment. And then also, obviously, with the music video, we've got like very, like, kind of creepy sort of imagery. I described it as a little bit of like an acid trip without the color, or mostly without the color, except for the dash of pink in there that came in every once in a while. Not that I would know, but just like from the videos of like, oh yeah, this is what an acid trip looks like. That's like, okay, it kind of seems a little bit similar with some of the vibes that are going into it piece by piece, like section by section. In verse 1, you've got a little bit of band limited drive on Daniela's vocals. And then I noticed that when it got into the pre-chorus where it just kind of opened up just a little bit, it's just slightly band limited, which is a interesting choice. And they kept that in the MTV version as well. But one thing I noticed was that in the MTV version, Daniela's vibrato is definitely in there in both versions, but it just seemed a little bit more pronounced in the MTV version. And then in the verse, they really established good stage presence right from the get-go, with Daniela really kind of like getting her whole body into it with the head moving back and forth, the leg tapping, and really just kind of like giving that in-your-face sort of attitude as she's singing. One thing I always am impressed by, I'm not very good at this, is singing and guitar playing at the same time. Like some of the things that she is doing on the guitar, it's like I would definitely lose my spot while I'm singing as I'm like trying to figure out, okay, where am I going next on the guitar? it shows how well rehearsed she is as she's playing. Then getting into the chorus, in the music video, just kind of going back to the visuals, the black and white front view where it doesn't look like they've got noses and like the very almost psychotic look on their face, like the very sick look on their face, just was like kind of giving me some sort of creepy vibes. Like, oh boy, I hope I don't have nightmares about this tonight. I don't handle creepy well. I know I'm a wimp. So anyway, the other thing I noticed too about the music video version is that when they shouted sick, the distortion, the produced distortion was really dialed up there. And then in the MTV version and the live version, without the crutch of the production, like Daniela just kind of like throws her voice into it and just does a straight up gritty shout of sick in those versions. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, like how she gets grittier and more aggressive in her live performances. And then getting into the second verse, a couple of the differences that I noticed, it took me a couple run throughs. And actually what really tipped me off to this particular artistic choice in the verse, where she goes up into her head voice for a certain portion of it. And I noticed it in the MTV version. I completely missed it in the music video version. And I'm like, wait, did she do that there? So I went back and I'm like, oh, she did. But the production just kind of seemed to mask it in a way where it was much more obvious and like presented in the MTV version, and then I definitely picked it up on the live version as well. And I could definitely tell, like, as she's like getting grittier in the second verse, like leading into the second chorus. I don't like to make comparisons very much, but like the way that she presented herself, it felt like she was channeling her inner Lizzie Hale, and that was really cool. I enjoyed that. Another thing that I noticed as the song progressed, just structurally, was the first chorus had one pass through of the main melody. Then the second chorus had two pass throughs, obviously with a change in lyrics and the second pass through of it. And then in the third chorus, there's like 2.5 or basically 3 pass throughs of the chorus. There's the clean one, then there's like the standard one, and then in the final pass through, one of the things that I really liked about the change ups that they did in the third pass through was Alejandra's bass. She goes an octave down, and so it kind of gives that a little bit more of a chest rattling feel to it, and I love that. I love those like deep drop basses and drop guitar tones, and I know Daniela wasn't like using a drop guitar tuning in this, but like the 5-string bass when Alejandra goes down instead of like an octave up just kind of gave me that rattle that I'm like, oh yes, I love that feeling from that chunky bass. The other thing too that was a fun little diversion of expectations is right going into the main riff that is the outro, and you could even see this in the live version too. They must have had the crowd like rehearse it before they actually started the song or something, because they had like a cue and it's just like, okay, 3, 2, 1, you're all gonna shout sick or something. They shouted sick every single time except for going into the final riff where she just speaks it, and in the music video it's like a fry engagement, sick. And then in the MTV version, she just, and the live version too, she just speaks it. But in the live version, you could tell it was a very good diversion of expectations when the entire crowd just shouts, sick! And she just goes, sick. I just love that. That was very playful, very fun. I really, really enjoyed this song overall, being able to go through the different experiences of the song. And one other last note before I finish, or the last little note I wrote, was the way that the colors and the visuals were in each of the different versions. Obviously, in the music video version, you had your black and whites with just a touch of pink every once in a while. And actually thinking of that just reminded me of a cool artistic choice there in the final chorus, where they have like the hearts showing, and I think it's Alejandra. I might be messing that up, or maybe it's Paulina. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still getting used to the name, so please forgive me. When she's kind of like, kind of turning on the charm there a little bit with the heart in the background, but it's like, give me violence, That was a pretty stunning contrast as well. And then you get to the MTV version, which just seemed like a normal standard type performance, except they were all facing each other. I don't know, it was like a cool camaraderie sort of rehearsal type situation, which was neat. And then you got the live version, the debut version, where the color choice was like this bright green and this bright pink. And it's like, man, the color choices are just really neat. You don't see that a lot with rock bands. I think the most colorful like rock metal band that I'm familiar with is Electric Callboy. So like the color choices in here like really stood out to me. But those are my thoughts on this particular set of videos. I am thankful that I actually came around to checking it out, the different versions of it, instead of just being like, radio ruined it, can't do this one now. So I enjoyed it. If you guys liked my analysis and my reaction to these videos, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications so that you don't miss anything going forward. And if you have any suggestions for the warning songs going forward, please drop them in a comment below. I'll give you a shout out whenever I do any of those videos. I also want to thank Jonas S for supporting me on Patreon. I really appreciate it. But that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for all your suggestions and everything you guys do on this channel. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. And rock on.